Now, if we fast forward to 2018, the policy of our government as brought to Saudi Arabia by President Trump, who asked the King of Arabia, King Salman, to call all the Sunni nations together in Riyadh, and he would come and address them. And when President Trump went to Riyadh, I saw him with pictures of new jet fighter planes, showing it to the king, and then they announced $110 billion sale of weapons to Saudi, the United Arab Emirates, billions of dollars for weapons. But if you listen carefully to his speech, he was making toxic the division between Sunni and Shia and aiming those weapons subtly toward Iran, and then openly saying to all of those nations they should reject their brother Iran. My teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught me years ago that the policies of our government would bring about a war in the Middle East that would be a trigger to the greatest war that has ever been, the war of Armageddon, spoken of in the Bible. My teacher wrote an article warning America in a time of great confusion over who is going to be president, either a Democratic president or a Republican. And we saw that played out 2 years ago. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that we were living in that which is called the lull before the storm. No matter who wins the election, that president would have to guide America through the most difficult time in world affairs. Mr. Trump is that leader today. And Elijah Muhammad taught me that I should say to him, you would be wise, Mr. Trump, to delay the storm as long as you can, because the longer the storm is delayed is to not only America's advantage, but is to the advantage of the world. These sanctions are the predicate for a new war. A reporter asked my teacher, is America going to remain in the Middle East? And my teacher said, America is going to come out of the Middle East. And when they asked about war, he said, yes, there would be war. And he said, bloodshed in this area would be much. I am begging our president and the government that supports him to be very, very careful, because if the trigger of war in the Middle East is pulled by you, using your surrogates at the insistence of Israel, then the war will trigger another kind of war which will bring China, Russia, all of the nations into a war. And it bothers me to say this to you, Mr. President, but the war will end America as you know it. So when these Iranians chant death to America, death to Israel, no chant can bring about your death, but it is your policies that are eroding trust for you in the world, favor for you in the world. And now you're pulling apart, confused. And if you do this, you will bring about, not the Iranian chant, you will bring about the death of the greatest nation that has been on this earth in the last 6,000 years. I am a warner to you. I am a friend to America, not an enemy. But if you do not heed the warning and correct your path, death will come.